In the past, I was quite a negative and angry person. No matter what happened to me, I just always looked for the negativity in every situation, and I kind of just thought that the world was never going my way. I always knew that I wanted to fix this about myself, and when I researched ways how to do this, meditation would show up time and time again. When you meditate, you release those thoughts of negativity, and you just observe them as if they aren't even your thoughts. They're just something that pops up in your brain, and if you can just observe those from almost someone else's point of view, then you can change your life. When I initially tried meditating, I thought it was going to be super peaceful. I thought I was going to sit there like this and be like, but no. These negative thoughts were just amplified, the anger was just amplified, and I would just have shitty thoughts coming up in my head, and I would have nothing else to do but look at those thoughts. And throughout the day, I would do things such as play video games, I would watch a lot of Netflix, and just do a lot of things that would try to distract me from these thoughts. So when I finally observed them and thought about them and actually realized what I was thinking about, I didn't like it. It's almost normal for people to have lack of presence and to have these sort of negative thoughts constantly. And that's just the way the world has programmed us to think. That's just how we've been raised. And there's constantly things stimulating us. There's constantly bullshit to think about. And it's hard. So many people give up on meditation because when they try to meditate, these thoughts are amplified. They get louder, and you just think, why the fuck am I doing this just to feel even worse? But eventually it'll click and you'll realize, oh, these aren't even my thoughts. I'm not my thoughts. This isn't me. This is something that's just popping up in my consciousness, and it's something that I can just observe from someone else's point of view almost, and it's something that I don't have to resonate with. When I first began meditating, I started with guided meditations. Guided meditations are probably my favorite way to start meditating, and that's not actually the way I started meditating. I started by observing my breath, observing my thoughts, as most people say that's how you meditate, but that can be difficult at first, and I highly recommend having someone walk you through it. And I still use guided meditations today because they're fucking incredible, but the more you use guided meditations and the more you do it consistently, the faster this will click, and you'll know what you're doing, and you'll get that positive feeling, that great feeling that you get from meditation. One thing about guided meditations though is don't fall into the trap of the clickbait videos that say this meditation will release all of your negative energy. It may temporarily, but you need to do this consistently. I used to watch one of these videos, not feel very different, but kind of think that, oh, I'm done, I just released all my negativity. The first time it clicks, you will know, and this will take some practice, this will take some time, but eventually you'll feel fucking incredible. The first time it clicked for me, I literally fucking cried. I felt the insane feeling of unconditional love, and I just felt fucking amazing. So keep trying, keep practicing until it clicks, and you'll know what I mean. And the amazing thing about meditation is once you get that feeling of positivity and self-love and unconditional love, you can then feel that throughout the entire day. It's like I kind of unlocked this superpower that I've always had within me, but it's just always been trapped beneath a bunch of bullshit. But once you finally release that, you can feel that feeling of love throughout the day, the feeling of positivity that I was just unable to feel before. When you're first starting out, there's sort of a beginner curve that I feel like you need to get over, and you just need to keep practicing, stay with it, don't give up, and eventually it will click. You'll understand what's going on, and you'll be able to meditate throughout the fucking day if you want to. You'll be able to be present whenever you need to, but you need to be consistent with it, and you need to practice a lot. If you want to learn how to meditate and learn how to make this a daily habit, click the link in the description and check out my last video where I teach you guys how to do that. I used to give myself a lot of excuses not to meditate. I would tell myself, I don't know how to do this. This is too hard. I don't understand it. My negative thoughts would come up, or I'd get distracted, or I'd think about something else that I need to be doing throughout the day. But really, that's all just excuses. It's all bullshit. Don't listen to your negative self-talk. Just stay with it. One tip that I have for you that I've only started doing recently is to grab a notebook and write down when you have a thought of like something you need to do throughout the day, or a good idea that you get. I get a lot of good ideas when I'm meditating because you just aren't thinking about shit, so you can actually think about the things you need to think about rather than other bullshit. But when you get these thoughts of, oh, I need to go do this, I need to do that, or you think of a good idea, just write it down and then go straight back into your meditation. That way you can kind of release the thought and go back to it later if you need to, but you can focus on the meditation, focus on observing your thoughts, and focus on the task at hand. If you're struggling with meditation, make sure you don't give up. It takes a lot of practice. This is a skill that takes a lot of time to forge. Let's say you want to learn a song on the guitar and you practice for 10 minutes and you've never played the guitar before. Do you think you're gonna know how to play a song? No. You're not gonna know how to meditate right away, and it's gonna feel fucking foreign to you. It's gonna feel extremely difficult, but eventually you keep practicing and practicing and you'll be able to play that entire song. Or in other words, you'll be able to meditate. Some benefits that I have written down here is that I actually noticed this one yesterday, but if I get like a jump scare or something scares me really quick, then I can really just recuperate myself so fast. Like, I remember I was cooking something and I was about to like spill all my shit, basically all my food, and I got like a crazy anxiety feeling as if I just got like a jump scare out of like a horror movie. But so quickly I just released all that negative energy, all that anxiousness, like faster than I ever have before in my entire life. And I remember before I started meditating, if I had that sort of jump scare kind of anxiety feeling, that shit would stay with me for a fucking while, and I would be stuck in that state of like stress and anxiety and fear, and it would just be horrible. Some other things I want to talk about is that I'm more positive now. I'm a lot less angry than I was before. I get in the flow state a lot easier, which is basically when an athlete is just not thinking about their actions. They're basically acting on their subconscious, acting on their instincts, and they just flow. This doesn't have to be just for athletes. This can be for literally anyone doing anything. You're just not thinking about your actions. You're just fucking acting. Like right now, I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying. I'm just flowing my words, talking. I don't know. It's just flowing. It's also a lot easier for me to come back to the present moment now. So when I catch myself overthinking, I can plant myself in the present moment, release those thoughts, and that's something that I could not do before. And this comes with a lot of practice of meditation, but you can literally just like meditate whenever you want throughout the day, because meditation, it doesn't have to be like a specific 10-minute block of your day. It can just be throughout the day. You just plant yourself in the present moment, take a few mindful breaths, just observe your thoughts, and you can do that whenever. I'm a lot more productive now, and this kind of has to go with flow state, like you're not really thinking, you're just acting. And when you overthink, it's just so hard to get anything done. Like, think about the developers at Apple. I'm recording this on an iPhone, so I'm just thinking about this right now, but think about the developers at Apple. Let's say they were just overthinking about the fact that, oh, should we put 4 cameras on the new phone or should we put 3? Should we add the headphone jack back? Should we do this, that? They don't overthink, they just fucking sauce the shit out there and they got a product. And maybe they are overthinking over there, but it's so hard to be productive if you're overthinking. And meditation reduces a lot of overthinking and helps with productivity. There's so many more benefits. Maybe I'll flash them on screen right here, but I highly recommend you do your own research if you are interested, because learning about the benefits is one way that I actually started meditating, because obviously if you don't know the benefits of meditation, you're not going to want to meditate. You're not going to have any reason to. You're just going to think, why am I thinking my thoughts that I don't want to think? Why am I allowing these negative thoughts to amplify? But if you look up the benefits, you'll know why you're doing it. You'll know what to expect. Keep in mind, these benefits only come with a lot of practice and a lot of consistency. Some tips that I have for you for meditation is to, first off, block out a lot of time for meditation. As much time as you possibly can, because this is a skill that you need to build, and it takes time to fucking build it. Think about going to the gym, for example. At first, if you've heard of newbie gains where you get fucking huge right away, and then as you reach your genetic potential, it's harder to gain muscle. Meditation is kind of like the opposite. At first, it's fucking impossible, but the more you do it, the easier it gets, the more mindful you get, and the more you meditate, the easier it is to do it throughout the day, like I said before, so that now you don't have that just 10-minute chunk of the day you're meditating. Maybe it's a couple extra minutes throughout the day because you're taking more mindful breaths, you're observing your thoughts more throughout the day, you're being more present, because that counts as meditation too. So yeah, keep investing your time, just keep showing up, be consistent with it. In my last video, I said that imagine two hockey players, one of them doesn't know shit about hockey, but he goes and practices regardless of not knowing anything, and the other hockey player doesn't know shit about hockey either, but he doesn't fucking even try because he doesn't know anything about it. Who's gonna make more progress? Obviously the person who doesn't know shit about hockey but practices either way. And he's learning along the way, he's learning how to get better, he's growing, and that's what meditation is. You're not gonna understand it at first. Maybe you've heard countless tips online and nothing works for you. You kind of have to find out what works best for yourself, and that just takes a lot of practice, a lot of consistency, so stay with it. My next tip is to just start small. So with any skill, obviously, if you're starting small, it'll be easier to consistently do that and grow bigger and bigger. So maybe start with a few mindful breaths today, maybe start with a guided meditation tomorrow, and then just get better and better as you go on. And just by doing this little activity, you build the reputation with yourself and you build the mindset that you're someone who meditates. So now, whenever you have a little chunk of time, maybe you're gonna go meditate rather than watching a TV show, or you're gonna better yourself rather than doing some other bullshit that you were doing before. You gain that self-image of yourself, you gain that reputation of you're someone that cares about yourself, you're someone that loves yourself, you're someone that meditates. I have two more crazy good tips that I wanna share with you real quick, but before I do, check out my last video where I'll help you meditate and build the habit of meditation. And a lot of these tips that I'm stating right now, I went into more depth in my last video, so check that out if you're interested. But these two last tips I didn't talk about in my last video, but I'm gonna talk about them now. The first tip is to listen to music mindfully. A lot of times when we're listening to music, we're just overthinking in our head, we're just thinking about random bullshit, going through the motions. But if you can literally hear the sound waves that you're hearing, you can feel the music and just be in the present moment, it will feel incredible, and also you will notice yourself zoning out a lot, but it's a lot easier to recover when you have something to pay attention to, something to listen to, rather than just observing your thoughts and following your breath. And my second tip, which actually kind of goes along with that thought, is the fact that if you just mindfully eat your meals, you'll understand what I'm talking about. It'll be like a meditation practice because you have something to focus on. You can focus on the taste buds in your mouth. You can that didn't make sense. You can focus on the taste that you're tasting. You can focus on the food in your mouth. You can focus on what you're feeling. If you mindfully eat one meal per day, you will see such a difference. But like I said, you'll notice yourself slipping into those negative thoughts, slipping into overthinking, just slipping out of that present moment state. But if you're listening to music, tasting something, feeling whatever, if you're using your senses basically, then it becomes a lot easier to recover from that overthinking. And two of the best ways I like to do that are eating and listening to music. That's gonna be it for today's video, and I think I'm gonna title this video like 2 years of meditation or something like that, because I have been meditating for 2 years straight. But I didn't really talk about those 2 years in this video. I just talked about how hard it was in the beginning, how you just need to be consistent with it, the benefits that you get, and then some additional tips. But just know that this took 2 years to fucking process. It took 2 years to cultivate this skill and to see the benefits. Obviously the benefits were seen earlier, but the more you do it, the more you see the benefits, and just stay with it, be consistent. Check out my last video if you want to find out how to make this a daily habit. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you learned something. Go meditate right after this video. Don't waste any time. I know you're probably going to scroll to the next video, click the next video. Actually, watch my second video, the video that I posted yesterday first. But I highly recommend applying these tips to your life, and you'll build that skill even quicker than you could have ever imagined. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.